The recent attempted purchase of Twitter by entrepreneur Elon Musk reportedly fell apart because there were too many bots or fake participants on Twitter. And it brought to the public attention a problem in social media, which are fake members of different social media, sometimes using this to achieve nefarious ends. And so we're presenting a special Saving America panel discussion. This is your host, Dr. David D. Schein. First of all, Vic Hartman is principal of the Hartman Firm, LLC in Atlanta, Georgia. He's an attorney and a CPA. He is a special agent with the FBI for 25 years, where he investigated fraud, white-collar crime, and corruption matters, which included, by the way, he spent some time here in Houston and worked on the famed Enron collapse and the fraud behind that. His firm specializes in internal investigations, forensic accounting, and fraud mitigation consulting. He is the author of the book, The Honest Truth About Fraud, A Former FBI Agent Tells All. And I haven't read that yet, but it sounds great. He's past president of the Georgia Chapter Association of Certified Fraud Examiners. And by the way, I've spoken for the Houston chapter of that group. And he served on Atlanta's governing board of Office of Inspector General.
Okay, well, thank you, Dr. Schein. And when you were telling me about your experience on LinkedIn where you got approached by somebody and of course you didn't get defrauded because your antennas were up, it really resonated with me because I have a client here in Atlanta, Georgia that did get victimized by a scam that was amazingly similar to yours. So that was, and it also bring my awareness to social media fraud, and especially on LinkedIn. I spent a lot of time thinking about fraud. I teach it, speak it, wrote a book on it. This insights into the LinkedIn fraud was new until I had this client, and now I've learned a lot about it. So I'm glad to be here on this podcast, kind of a social or public service announcement awareness. Hopefully we can do some good and bring people's attention to this so they don't become defrauded by this. And social media can be used to defraud in several different ways. And there's nothing new about con man frauds. It's an ancient old trade where people get defrauded. In fact, David Marr wrote a book, The Big Con, the story of the confidence man. And the word con is from confidence man. But there's nothing new about this. In fact, that book inspired the movie, the screenplay for The Sting, starring Paul Newman and Robert Redford. But so now we see these frauds, and they also introduced the term the long con, which means they're very patient, they're very persistent. There's not just a short con where you meet someone on the street and trying to defraud you. It's a long con. And that's what reminds me with this LinkedIn, it's a long con because they get to know you and defraud you over a period of time. In LinkedIn, there's some studies that show in the US, LinkedIn is the most trusted social internet site. And so trust is the key to all frauds and confidence con man schemes. It's trust-based. And why do we trust LinkedIn? Because it's our peers, right? The people we know, we brought into our inner circle. They're our same profession, same credentials. We may go to the same university. So we have this affinity with each other and we trust. And so there's a lot of fake accounts on LinkedIn. LinkedIn's reported they've just removed 32 million fake accounts. I think they have 880 million accounts total worldwide. So it's a big platform, and they are constantly trying to remove these fake accounts. But a fake account will be set up, and it's the long con. So they're patient. They make their bona fides look legitimate. And they may even start befriending some of the same people that you have in your circle, so that when you see them, you're like, oh, well, my good friend John is trusted this person as well. So now it's just trust-based and you start feeling comfortable, especially when you deal with them for a long period of time.
Super. Thank you so much, both of you. You've been our great guests on the special episode of Saving America, talking about social media fraud. This is your host, Dr. David D. Schein. If you've enjoyed this episode, please subscribe on your favorite podcast or webcast platform.